Hello, hi there. Welcome back to The Whole Bucket. I'm Cheryl. This is Let's Make Junk Journals 100% Junk Edition, as it says on the screen. You know, right there. There. That's hard to do. I have rebooted all the supplies and tools that were allowed, and oh, good grief, look at this. It's starting to be a gator mouth. I've never made a gator mouth before. But I knew when it was already poofy, it was like this-ish early on. I knew that it was doomed. So, I have failed to turn on a light here. Let me grab that quick. Oh, sorry about that. When we were last here, I was perplexed at this envelope. And I started playing around with a lot of stuff to try to, prompt some ideas and such. And I think we're going to do a little bit of a scene collaging. So this is a walkway, obviously, going up to somebody's garden, or it's going out of the garden. I don't know which, but I'm going to say it's going into the garden. And I thought, what if I put a gate here? And it looks like you're coming out of a dark forest. So I forgot which way this goes. It does have a direction. Oh, it's this way. Okay, so then you're coming out of a dark forest and going into the garden gate. Well, then what do we need down here? And I decided a grass section. I do have another piece for over here, but there's the gate. Some ferny stuff in front of us in the forest. There is the treetops would go way up here at the top of this envelope. The canopy of the forest, so to speak. And I wonder what happened to the other piece. I'm a little bummed. I'm gonna find it. Ta-da! Found. Okay. So let's do that again. Put everything in place. We have the gate. It's got to go higher than I want it to. And then the trees. And this one goes here. This one goes here. Then the bottom, now I lost a different piece. Well, gosh darn me. What the heck did I just do now? Where's the grass? I'm gonna find the grass. All right, sorry about that again. This is beyond strange. The piece of grass is just completely gone. It's just, I can't find it anywhere. I really don't understand how I managed to do that, but I am capable of not moving one iota. That's probably not right. I am capable of not moving my body from the spot I am sitting on and still misplacing things. I do not understand it. I can't imagine where it has gone. It's ridiculous, but we're going to just make a different, we're going to create a different option. So there is my gate. There is one of the trees, one of the sides of the forest. There's the other break in the forest. There is the tree top. So this page is these very same trees, only upside down. That's why I can get it to match. I mean, their sizes don't match, but people just don't pay attention. I'm just gonna say, people don't pay attention to that. I'm gonna see if I can make this piece work. Nope, it's way too small. So I didn't want to put flowers across the bottom because it's supposed to be the entrance of coming out of a dark forest, right? But I mean, I kind of could do this. And then that other piece I have, so I'm putting this all on sideways. I'm going to move the gate up here. Move the tree down here. Hold still, little tree. Put the canopy back up where I had it. Good grief, this is way more complicated than I thought than it should be. Because slippery paper doesn't hold still. There. We are now coming out of the dark forest and going up the garden path, and I can cover, most of these flowers will get cut off anyway, but this is a big rock section, so I can cover some with rocks in the forest. I think this is what I'm doing. It is, however, going to be a little bit difficult to get everything placed and sized where it goes, and I'm still not happy with this section for the grass. I wish, oh my gosh, look at that. It's right there in front. It's right here. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. I don't understand me at all. All right. So I discovered something I liked. So I'm going to tear this little piece that we were just playing with because I liked having a little bit of transition from forest to walkway visible. So I might put that under it all. Let's put one piece on at a time again because now we have all the pieces plus a new one. Let's see if we can figure out where this stuff should be placed and get it glued, tentatively glued together. So I think I want this to be way over here. And then I think I would want this stone to be here. Doo-doo-doo. Okay. Okay. Now, the next thing would be the trees. So this tree would go here. And this tree would go here. And then we just have the canopy to put on. So the forest canopy would go across the whole thing at the tippy top of the envelope. Stop it. And then I found my forest floor foliage. Oh, it's not long enough anymore. I moved all this stuff too high. And then at the rock situation. Okay, so the reason it's like this is because of that new stone piece. So I would have to move the trees down but I do have room, so I can do that. Okay, move the trees down a lot. There we go. Then, does this work? Okay, I'm going to tear this, even though I don't know if that's exactly where I want it. I committed now. There. I realize there's a lot of glare on that. I think you can still see what I'm intending to do. This is the most ridiculous, and this. Oh my! Let's just do this. Let's do this thing right here. So, now that I have it all in place and I like it and I'm happy with it, I have to take it all apart because we are definitely going to paint all these edges and we're going to size everything. I wish I had this envelope again. Then I could just make it off of here and then transfer it. That would be handy as heck. But that's just not going to be a thing. So let's get the paints all wet. I'm going to spray the whole thing first. And then let's get busy. So I think I'm going to do all of this in dark blue green. Partly because I have to start using those greenish colors, right, that I still have some of. And partly because I want this to be darky, dark forest. So I'll add a little of the blue-green and a little gray and a tiny bit of black and see if we can get this.
Someone is at the side door.
Oh my, someone is at the side door. Hello, I'll be up in a minute. All right. Sorry about that if that was yelling and very loud. I didn't mean to do that. I will be back in a minute. Oh. Okay, I am back and we are ready to assemble, I believe. And all the pieces are dry because while I lied. Look at that, I forgot the rock section, and I think it might be the most important section. I hope the interruptions are done. It's my mother. She is trying to make some decisions about filament for a 3D product she wants, a 3D printed product she wants. And I was asked to come up and offer an opinion on colors. So we took a look a little bit. Unfortunately, I was not much help because the colors I like for what she wants printed are very different than the colors she likes for what she wants printed. So, I mean, oh shoot, there we go. Actually, you know, opinions that differ from yours are just as helpful as, and even maybe more so than if you like the same things. So I think I was probably still a little helpful in the decision making, but yeah, we had very different ideas about how to go about the project she wants. let's just pat this dry so we can move on. Okay, so here's all the pieces, and what I did was found a piece of tracing paper, although the one I found is coffee dyed, so it's not easy to see that. But I traced the envelope onto the piece of paper because I really liked the idea of making it off to the side and then gluing it in place. It just seems like it's the smart way to go, right? I didn't feel like it's completely cheating because you guys could do the same thing. Create a template for something you're trying to do with it, with tracing paper or tissue paper, or, you know, just measure and draw or whatever. But creating a template is not really cheating. Anybody can do that. So I felt a little like, oh, I wonder if this is still beginner, complete junk, etc. And then I decided, yeah, it is. I decided. Okay, so let's get back to piecing this thing together. And I think, oh, now there's something I didn't have, but I think I had to move it way over, didn't I? Okay. I think we might have to do a combination. Tracing paper over the original. And I think, oh, I think if I can do this, I will fold this behind to try to make it stay in place. Okay, that should help because now I can kind of see the walkway, and I know I had to move this way over like so to get it to look like it was lining up. So let's start with the walkway about like so. I don't know if that was right, but then we need the trees. And we had the trees come down quite a bit so that those grasses would work. So there's a bit of a problem in that this section of tree is not wide enough. So I'm debating here if I should get another strip of tree and put it there. I think that would be easy enough. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time over here looking, but I think we have another strip of tree sitting right over here, like that. So, but I don't want this sunshine because that was actually the piece that goes right here, or over farther even. And it would change the look. It would change the dynamics of the light. Even though that's the piece that actually goes there, it would change too much for me. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this and see if another extra strip would look cool. I mean, more layers can't hurt, I don't think. I think this is kind of a... I think this is just lending itself to multiple layers. So let's let that dry a second while we ponder this stuff. So these came down quite a bit. I just went and pushed them back up again. Oh. But this one goes here, right? Or does it go under? I think it kind of goes under. I think under is better. Okay, and then we had the grass that would go way over here. And then we had the stone that would go on top of both of those. Looks like I'll have to trim just a tiny speck off of the, oh, we're not seeing, okay. That's why this was up farther and over farther, because we're not able to see the path. So let's push this up like so and rebuild. Okay, and maybe this will be ready too. Let's stick this way over to the edge. And I think I wanted this under it. I think I wanted this like so. And I think these are too high. Good grief. This is just so fiddly. Fiddly, fiddly, fiddly. Okay. Okie dokie. Okie dokie artichoke. Now we just need the canopy. The treetops do not line up anymore because I have changed the dynamic. It's not too terrible though. I mean, I could put that piece under. Let's try it. Let's try that piece under. I'm not going to put this together perfectly this time because I think we're almost ready to glue. Trial fittings are important. This might not be exciting television, but just trying to show that fitting and refitting is kind of a normal part of the process. Quite normal. There, there, there. Now, does the canopy look any better? No. No, it does not. Because this doesn't reach all the way across the page, which means I would have to switch these the way I didn't want them to be. Alright, if you are not nearly as picky as I am, you might not need to do this 50 times over. Because you might understand what it is you're looking for right off the bat and not have to do this 5,000 times. What if I tuck this in behind this one and just let it peek out like that? It is not what I wanted, but it is also not terrible. It looks like it might even end up being better than the way I had it. There we go. Get that all the way to the top. Turn this sideways. All right. I'm not going to put that behind or that, but let's put the grass and the rocks in place just to see how the framing is for this part. And then we can actually glue these pieces together. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right, I'm going to do this. This is where they go. So I'm going to squish this all the way over to the edge. And then I'm going to line this one up. Like so. And I'm going to hold it in place while I just lift a bit. Hey, let go. I've glued my glue bottle to its holder. That is not surprising. Okay. There we go. Stick, 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 please. Do a little up here as well. These will have to be glued more, right? But I'm trying to get everything in its place. So I'm kind of wondering about this topper. Does it have to go right against the line? Or, nope, 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 nope. I already answered my own question. Let's see where this has to sit again. It can go up that high. No higher. Let's go ahead and get this glued in place though, so I know that. So what I was wondering and what I was measuring right there is, I wonder if this piece can be ever so slightly a thin fold over the top so it can go inside the envelope and create an opening there. And I'm still going to try for that, but it looks like the answer is no. No, it cannot. Oh goodness, now maybe it can. All right, that's going to be a ridiculously thin amount, but I'm going to see what it's like when we get to the other side. So then we got this piece that goes on the very bottom. Right there. And I'm just going to hook that right on this little part. My tracing paper was escaping. That is just strictly not allowed. All right. There we go. This is way too puffy and movable and such. So it's not really cooperating. I mean, I think you saw that from the trials, right? Because it was sliding all over the place. All right, so this needs to go as high as it can, and I think that's about it. If I do it any higher, I will have nothing to connect these two. Let me peek. Yeah, that is a pretty minimal little connection. Okay. Let's connect that little bit. Okay, now the canopy. And I'm going to do the canopy up as high as it can go. So I'll put a bead of glue across the top of both sections, and then I will put this at the edge of that. All right. Let's give this just a minute to sit and you know, adhere. Then we'll put the underneath pieces on after we can flip this over. Oh gosh, that was close. Here's what I'm going to do though. So I have the top of the envelope marked here. Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore, right? Let's take the card out and put this in place. And I'll line up the bottom and turn the page. Do we have enough to fold over? No. Not only do we not have enough, but it's lopsided at that. So, oh shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Oh, it's lopsided because it's shifting. Gosh darn it. I moved too quickly. I said, let's give it a minute, and then I didn't give it a minute. All right, let's put it back on here. Let's put it back together. I'm kind of messing up my own project because I'm too anxious. I'm too anxious. Too much coffee this morning, maybe? Who knows? Who knows, man? Okay. Here's what I was going to do the first time, is just turn the whole thing upside down and see how much space I have for folding. It's still lopsided, but I think it's just gonna be. There, it's much straighter. Let's turn it over and see what that looks like. Okay, I'm going to put it back on the window to make sure I didn't wreck anything, but I think I just straightened some stuff out. And, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to chop the top of this envelope off. Because I really like the idea of being able to tuck this in. Or at least, yeah, to tuck it in. Because it would just strengthen the whole thing. I don't know what we'll do on this side. Maybe it'll just be weak on this side. I don't know. I don't know what we'll do on the other side, but this side will be much stronger if instead of this divot we have a flap. A reinforced flap. I think it will take off about that much. Let's do it over here too. About that much. Here we go. Well, I mean, that's been an adventure already, hasn't it? Good grief. Charlie Brown. Now, let's find the other two pieces and see if we can get this thing assembled and done. Good grief. Oh, wait, I already said that part. Wouldn't you know, I was going to say, wouldn't you know I lost the other two pieces? But I didn't. So I got to put the card back in, because I definitely want the gate to line up at least somewhat. With the path. This whole thing is shifted so much. I think I have to trim off this side. I definitely have enough room to do it. I'm going to trim off this side. First I didn't have enough over here. Now I have too much over here. I want to trim it off with a straight line. I suppose I could follow this here. If I turn this over, take a look at where I want the envelope to sit, I can see how much extra I have. Yay! Just like that. Let's draw this line in here and I'll trim it right there and we'll paint it. So I'm going to trim just on the inside of that line. All right. There we go. Let's get some of that dark color going. Make it a spooky forest. I really should sand the edges of this thing to get more of the spooky forest feel, but I'm not gonna because, gosh darn it, we're not getting anywhere because I am such a fuss budget. Fuss budget. Okay, I like the way this sits better. It's not gonna get too terribly crowded into the... it's not gonna get too terribly cramped into the... something that I can't think of. Fine. There we go. Okay, now we have the walkway leading up to and beyond the garden gate. And we need this whole situation to be down. Come on. Right here-ish. And down here-ish. Up. Up a bit. I think like so is going to have to be good enough. Okay, so I'm going to tear down this little bit right here to go behind the rock a little more, which means I need to repaint that. And then I can show more of the path that way. And I'm going to do the same thing inside here. So I can show a little tiny speck more of the gate. I thought I didn't have enough tree. And now I put on a tiny bit more tree and now I have too much tree. I do not know how that happens. But it is not unusual. Alright, let's dab that. Let's... oh, yep, the bottom too. That's where else I trimmed it. And let's get this in place. Again, we have a path leading to the path. Then and we have a gate. That needs to go up there-ish. Yep. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to glue these two together. I think I saw where I want them. I hope. So I want this little green dot right here to be right near the edge of the gate. I think it's about like that. Okay, let's try it. Yep. I actually like that right there. So we're going to tear off a bit of the extra because it's sticking out the bottom and we don't want that. And then we can glue this piece in place. Like that, right? Yes. If you're making sure the trees are where they're supposed to be. I am a little surprised at how hard the watercolor paint makes it to move these pages. It's a little grippy. It's got a little tiny bit of grit to it and they don't want to move. All right, there we go. Just there. Don't move. Nobody move. If you're watching this video, hold your breath. Each and every time this video is watched, people need to hold their breath. Hold your breath. Okay. Now, this time, let it sit a minute, lady. So, let's let that dry. In the meantime, the bottom of this envelope needs to be painted to match the forest. So we're going to need our big and tall guys to come help us. This is totally not going to stick on the this is not going to stick on the plastic cover, the film that covers the window. But that's all right. Let's do the whole border. And let's do in here. And we'll see what I'm getting on the next page. Okay, it's actually just that little menu piece, so it wouldn't hurt it if it got a little color anyway. And let's get this out so we can do the top, because we don't know what's going to get covered and what isn't. I mean, the whole thing is likely to get covered, except it will have little edges, so I want to make sure these corners get got. There we go. Good enough. All right, while we're letting some things dry, I will set this aside as well. let's check our list and see what we're supposed to be doing, because I just jumped right into that. We had some stuff circled because I didn't like a couple of the pages that are back a bit. I'm not going back to those today. Right now, we're at the envelope pocket. We colored it, for sure. I just painted it. Walk card, that's the one we just did. Corners ribbon or tab clustery, dusty. I don't know. I can't read my own writing. That's not a good thing. I don't know if I want to change this. And I think I said that yesterday. I think I said that last week too. I don't want to change this because I really just like the way it is. I don't know that I want to do anything to it. So I could cut off the corners to make it tab shaped. I could put a ribbon pull on it. I could round the corners. I could do all kinds of stuff, but it's kind of just a cool image, just the way it's trimmed down, right? And now that I think about it, I created this big thing with you just now to make it look like you're coming out of the forest and going into the garden, but this image is going from the garden into the forest. So apparently this is a really small yard, and you can come out of the forest and go back into the forest just by walking through the yard. So there must be a little cottage in a little clearing where they've created this great little environment with all this stuff. Oh gosh, what a lovely place to live. So, where was I again? Right here. I thought I crossed something out though. What the heck? Oh, color. That's all I did. The walk card, I've decided to not do anything with it. I colored the edges though, so I mean, I'm fine with that. The back side, we're not there yet, but it says color the pocket, line hints on the paper, tab corner edge small bits to the card. So I think I can just grab the card, and I like this just the way it is, but I don't want to add a ton of stuff to this, but here's the two things I'm thinking I'll do. I think that I will round the corners on this one, and we'll do it the same way we did last time, right? Just take something that's rounded, that has the shape that you want, and whoops, trace. Just trace that little edge. Trace. I completely missed it there. Too funny. Too funny. There you go. Now, the other thing that I'm going to do to this one, once I have these edges trimmed, is I'm going to add a little bit of color. So you can see I used coffee on the edges. I think you can see that anyway. I used coffee on the edges. And some of the color that I just put on the other side of the envelope is going through. So it's got some of this blue, green, black color. But I want to copy the purple. So I'm going to go into that blue, green, gray, black stuff again and go around it. And then I'm going to just dab that off right away and add purple. Probably just add purple to the mix, right? And get a brown that's going to, a dark brown that's going to be purpley. I don't know. Let's see in a minute. We'll see in just a minute here. All right, squish that. While it's squishing, I will add some purple. to that mix I just did. Now it's definitely gray, brown, purple. Because that's what you get when you mix all the colors. Oh, it doesn't look any different. Come on. Where'd the purple go? It was there a second ago. Come on, you. So this is all about solar eclipse, and this chart has something to do with calendar, and it says right there, Aprilis? It has something to do with solar eclipses and calendar charting and all that. So I want it to look like a spacey kind of color. And I think it does. I'm happy with that. Let's let that dry for a second too, and we'll go back to our big project of the day. Holy buckets, I didn't know we were going to do a big project of the day. But yeah, this is probably all we're going to get done today. It is a little crazy how long you can spend on junk journaling. Okay, there we go. Let's get this thing in place. I'm going to tear that edge at an angle so we can fold it over and tuck it in. I'm going to get some of that blue, green, gray and do that, which I probably should have done while we were letting it dry. Crazy girl, crazy, crazy girl. All right, well, I'm letting that think about drying. Let's get some glue on this. So I am going to, I don't know what kind of glues you have, and this is supposed to be completely beginner, right? If I use my glue stick on all of this around about this envelope that is not the plastic, this will stick just fine forever and ever and ever. If you have liquid glue, and I'm not entirely sure, like Elmer's school glue, or even this glue that I have, this Fabri-Tac whatever, clear gel, I don't think this is going to stick to this plastic any more or any longer. So I'm just going to do this little test here, and I guess I'll find out someday. Or somebody will find out someday, because I don't think I'm keeping this journal. But, oh, yuck, I'm full of paint. Imagine that. All right, ready? All right, in place. How in the world did I end up with so much extra at the top? First I didn't have enough, then I just trimmed it a little bit, and now I have so much extra. I mean, this whole thing ended up wonky, didn't it? First there's not enough, then there's too much of everything. I have to get... Okay, wait. I'm going to try to shift this just a tiny bit. I have to try to get in here to trim a tiny speck off, because I wasn't going to be able to fold it inside. Okay, so I'm going to use the back of this envelope and fold this over right at the top. And then tuck it in. Am I making a mess of things? I don't think so. I think this is okay. So let's get this tucked in. Blarg. Blarg. There we go. It's in there. Ha ha ha! I think I might have won. I might have won that project. Good grief. Good grief. That was quite a project. Fiddly. Fuss Budget E. The glossy paper, even made it kind of squirmy. It's kind of squirmy. All right, let's get the card in there and see what we've ended up with. Oh, I got paint on the other side of the card. Don't do that. Okay. This is not entirely closed now, or connected now. Yep, closed. It's not entirely closed now. I cut off part of the envelope. Way to go, girl. Alright, now I can finally show this to you and try to eliminate some of the glare part. There we go. There is what we created today. Good grief, Charlie Brown. That was a journey. But I think that was worth it. That is a pretty cool collage right there. And not really technical. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of paper. 8 pieces of paper. The only reason that was so difficult is because I'm really picky about placement. And I lose pieces all the time. And glossy paper is slippery. Otherwise, that would not have taken nearly so long. So, just in case things are still soggy, I'm going to go ahead and tuck this right here. Because I would like to put this card back in its place. And at least think about what we need to do next. Because we are almost to the end. Look at this. Look at this. Ah! Alright, let's see what we got. Backside, color the pocket. That means add something onto here. I'm not going to do anything quite as elaborate. I don't think. Listen to me. Tab / corner / edge and small bits to the card. I've decided color only. Color only and kind of messy and kind of making it old. So I did that. That's done. I'm not doing more. Line hints on the paper. So I thought about putting those hinted lines across, and I wonder if I'm going to try something right on the envelope. Remember the other part, or that center fold out bit, where I said I hinted at lines by brushing the coffee in a certain direction. So I'm going to try, I'm going to do this to hint at lines. So this doesn't really create writing lines, right? But it does, if you just want to write freehand, it does create vertical spacing and something to follow. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to call that done. Yep. Line hints on the paper. Color, we still need to do something with this part of the pocket. I don't know what it's going to be. Menu bit, coffee and tear the front edge. We did coffee. I don't want to tear the front edge anymore, but I am going to add this teal color with a lot of extra blue. So I don't know what we're going to end up with. Ooh, I like that color. And that's not edging, lady. If you paint the whole thing, it's not edging anymore. Look at me making a giant mess. Wow, I am very clumsy today. Okay. Well, this is what we're doing, right? We're making a big fat mess. Yep, we're doing it on the other side too. Making a big fat mess. So, put that down like that, and then let's grab that napkin and soak some back up and see what we end up with. I think I'm gonna try to get some more up. Nope, not gonna happen. Let me try that again. I got an idea. If I can't get it up because I've already screwed it up and it's dried too much and whatever, at least I can spread it out and make it look like I did that on purpose. I did that on purpose. It's not that I screwed up, it's that my hands don't always work properly, and sometimes you need to make allowances for that. Turn the surprises into features is just part of what art can do. So I'm not covering up where I screwed up, right? I'm just following the flow of what happens, and that's fine. If that happens to you, it's all about frame of mind, right? And I mean, that might be semantics right there. Maybe it is screwing up, but why? Why? It doesn't need to be. It's all part of the art process, and it will all work out in the end because we can create around all the surprise things that happen. Half and a half page, a cluster tab where the papers meet. So I thought I wanted to put something right here as far as a cluster goes, but we're running out of supplies, and we're not going to do that today regardless because we are already at time. Pocket page. That's this one. Line hint and cluster. Okay. You know what? I'm going to do the line hints before we leave because they can dry while it's sitting here waiting for next time. Let's get another page. Oh, let's get another page after that. Because I'll need one on this side too. And let's do the hinting at lines with the fan brush again. Maybe I'll space them out a little more this time, but we'll go with I think I'll go with the purple more this time because we've kind of stepped away from the purple and I don't want purple to get lost. So I'll dip into the red and the purple, and let's get some of that going. I am splashing paint everywhere. Okay. All right. That is way too much color. Whoever uses this journal, it's going to have to use a black pen if they want to write on this page. Because I maybe should have toned the color down. Okay. Let's just leave it like that. Except maybe we should do edging. Should we do edging? Yes, we should, because look at the other side. It is also the back to the purple pink colors. So I'll swirl up a little bit more and just go like that. And I think we'll do it across here too, and across here too, because, you know, consistency. Oops. I want to color the top of this pocket. Whoops. I think I have more than one thing in there. There we go. I'm going to color the top of the pocket. A bunch, apparently. That is not what I intended to do when I first said that. Oh, I don't know about me at all. Okay. That's what I did, though. So that's what we're doing. I think I might end up adding something pretty up there anyway. So we're done for today. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good things for all the people who bring you inspiration or joy or entertainment in any way, shape, or form. Thank you, and I'll see you next week for more of 100% Junk edition of Let's Make Journals. Bye!